Welcome to Chandler in Focus. I'm Vice Mayor Kevin Harke, and today we are discussing the 2017 Relay for Life Chandler event, which is going to take place on May 12th and 13th at Basha High School. This is an awesome and outstanding community gathering that honors those who have been affected by cancer. As we know, cancer has affected just about every one of us, directly through our family members or personally, or certainly people that we know. And this event gives us opportunity to provide support for those that we love, as well as an opportunity for healing and remembrance to kind of process the event in our own lives. So it's my pleasure to introduce two special guests. Lynn Harke, she is a cancer survivor and the event lead for the 2017 Relay for Life Chandler event, as well as my awesome wife. Oh. And we also have Ethan Brooks. He is the president of Basha High School Relay for Life Club. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We're glad that you can be here. So let me ask a couple questions first, just about your background. So Lynn, let's get started with you. Tell us about how you got involved with Relay for Life and why is it a special event that keeps you coming back every year?
I originally got involved in Relay for Life in 2009. Interesting enough, 1 month before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then I got the diagnosis and I became a team captain the following couple years. And then I became the entertainment chair for 4 years. And then last year and this year, I'm the event lead for Chandler Relay for Life. So I got involved mainly because I found it a great organization that was not just for survivors, but for the entire family.
And my job description has been, what do you need on Relay?
That's right. Yes, dear. That's your job.
It's been a good job. Ethan, tell me about you. How did you get involved in Relay for Life, and what has motivated you to not only participate, but to lead the efforts at Basha?
Well, my junior year of high school, and prior to that, I had heard about Relay for Life, but in my junior year is when I finally decided to become a team captain. And I was going to all the meetings. I was kind of like learning what's all about, like what do I have to do. And then it wasn't until the summer going into my senior year, Lyndon came to me and was like, well, let's start a club at your school. And, and we ended up doing that. And then I think the thing that's been motivating me is kind of like, well, I had an uncle who had passed away from lung cancer, and just kind of like remember him, and keeps me going.
So this will be your second year involved.
Yes.
So you're a senior at Basha High School this year.
Yes, I am.
So what are you hoping to see happen after this year?
After this year, I'm going to go to NAU to study in. I'm majoring in business economics, and then getting a degree in business administration, and then later on to go to U of A to study pre-law.
And can we count on you, if you're not in the middle of finals, that you'll be back to participate and maybe lead a team, bring a team down from NAU to join us next year?
Of course.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, we've got that on film, so we won't hold it to you. We'll see what next year
NAU also
brings.
has a fantastic relay up there.
Yes, but Ethan's got Chandler roots.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Lynn, tell us about Relay for Life and the relationship with the American Cancer Society. And how does that all play together?
Well, Relay for Life is actually the largest volunteer-driven, grassroots organized event in the world. And so it's not only here in Chandler, but in over 5,000 locations in the United States. And then it spills over in other places internationally. And what makes Relay for Life so unique is that they want to keep it just local. And so the committees are all people that live in the area. There'll be one person that works for the American Cancer Society, but the rest of us, we are all volunteers. And so we're looking for individuals and teams that want to get involved at a local level. So we're asking people that would get 7 or more of their friends to join a team, or it could be classmates or your business, just anyone from a local community that wants to get involved in the fight against cancer.
And how do we compare with the other relays just in Maricopa County? How do we stack up to the other cities and communities in the county?
Well, we are actually the #1 relay in Maricopa County, so we take great pride in that. And we are always chasing, surprisingly enough, Yuma, Arizona is the #1 relay in the state of Arizona. And sorry, Yuma, but we like to joke it's because nothing else is going on down there. So I don't know if that's true, but we would love to raise more money than them some year. So I have to give them great kudos because they run a great event down there in Yuma. But we are #1 in Maricopa County.
They do an amazing job. So what impact does Relay for Life have on a local level, a national level, international level?
I like to think that Relay for Life does make a great difference in the communities. A lot of the money raised stays in local communities for cancer services to patients that live in the area. And I think there'll be questions about that later in more detail. But yeah, money raised stays in an area and makes a difference in cancer.
So you mentioned that it comes or it stays largely local. Can you identify a little more detail? Where does that money go? Why is it so important that Relay raises money for American Cancer Society?
The money that we raise goes to 4 different avenues. The first is advocacy. We want to keep cancer in the forefront in a political arena. The second is education, keeping the public educated on the effects of cancer and how they can eliminate some of the risks of cancer. The third is patient services, and the fourth is actually the reason I get involved in Relay for Life, and that is to raise money for research. The money that our event raises and other events makes it possible for us to finance 7 research grants in the state of Arizona. So we have 6 down at U of A and 1 at St. Joe's. And I like to think the money that we raise at Chandler Relay could be the money that makes a difference and finds that cure for cancer. And I believe it's possible, and that's why I'm involved in Relay.
And I was just with former Mayor Jerry Brooks and his wife Sheila, and she's quite involved in American Cancer Society, more from a patient point of view, isn't she? And introducing people. What does she do?
Sheila is involved in Reach for Recovery. So that's a program with the American Cancer Society that's specifically for breast cancer patients. And I met Sheila on that level when she heard 8 years ago that I was diagnosed with cancer. She was the first person who came to my door with a bouquet of flowers and said, "I'm here for you. And if you have any questions, I've been through this as a breast cancer survivor." And she's the first one that looked me in the eye and said, "I am a breast cancer survivor." And I thought, okay, I'm going to be one someday too.
Awesome. Well, Ethan, this event is held on the campus of Basha High School. Tell us a little bit more about where this will be there and your impressions last year. How long does it last? And what do you know about this year's?
So in the previous years, it used to be 24 hours, the whole thing, but now it's been shortened to 12. And we do it from 6 p.m. at night till the 6 a.m. in the morning. And then basically the purpose is like that, because of that is like cancer never sleeps. And so we're just gonna strive through the whole night and just stay awake and walk for cancer. And then basically how it's set up is like you walk in, you just see tents upon tents, and lined around the course is luminarias. And then closer to 9 o'clock at night, we put, candles in them. It's all lit up, and then we do the luminaria walk, and it's a really fun event, yeah.
And what's the theme of this year's event?
This year's event is Disney themed with a sub-theme of a cure
Is the wish.
Yeah, a cure is the wish your heart makes, yeah. And
that's a great theme. So Lynn, you've been in charge of entertainment in the past, which means it's a pretty hard task to keep people motivated and awake all night long. So what can we look forward to this year? Ethan mentioned the Survivors Walk with the luminarias. What are some of the elements that makes this an event that people like to come back to year after year?
We do like to give specific titles to some of the laps that change probably about every hour, hour and a half. And those will be Disney-based this year. Come dressed as your favorite Disney character. They're going to do something with bubble wrap decorations and some big contests. So I'm expecting some Cinderella ball gowns made out of bubble wrap this year, which will be phenomenal. We're excited to have the fire department back this year, and they actually walk the track in full gear. They take turns doing it, and everyone loves to take photos with them. The police department's involved this year. They're going to be doing a baseball pitch, seeing how fast people can throw baseballs using the radar gun. I think that's going to be very popular. And one of the police officers also helping us do a obstacle course this year. And so all kinds of things all night long. We've got fantastic food trucks this year. There'll be stuff to keep people busy. It's a great event for the whole family.
And I think the city has come up with at least 3 teams this year, haven't they?
Yes, I'm very excited to have the city involved this year, as they are in the past years, but I don't think ever with 3 teams. So,
wow, that'll
exciting.
be fantastic. And obviously part of this night is not just to create awareness, it's also to remember and celebrate and encourage survivors. So what types of things go on for survivors?
I think Ethan mentioned the most important thing, and that is the survivor lap that we have at the beginning. And I think you would agree with me that it's pretty awesome that who's ever not a survivor lines the track, and we give them high fives as they walk around. And I know that is significant for me as a survivor. And they invite people that, caregivers also, to walk with them. And then Carrabba's is sponsoring a full meal for survivors and a guest. And then anyone in the community, if they know someone who's been touched by cancer, can purchase a luminaria and either decorate themselves or have our committee decorate them with the name of someone they know who's had cancer. And even if you're not at the event, that would be there and lit all night long.
All right, I'm putting in my request earlier. I want to be your guest, okay?
Okay.
So.
And being the Disney theme, that's Be Our Guest. Yes, that is the theme of the Survivor tent, Be Our Guest.
Maybe I could come dressed up as a talking candlestick or something like that.
I'd like to see it, dear.
We will figure out something. So if you want to see that, join us at Relay for Life on May 12th and 13th. So Ethan, part of your job is to recruit students.
Yes, it is.
And you have to be pretty creative to do that. I mean, students don't need a whole lot of motivation to do something worthwhile and to something like this, as well as to stay out and make an all night worthwhile. But what are some of your strategies and things you've found successful?
So in the beginning of the year, we have at Basha, we have a club fair, and that was probably one of the most influential things that really recruited a lot of students. So and one of the clubs we had just started was the Relay for Life Club, and then the way we recruited students was basically just we set up a booth and we're just hey guys, here are some flyers and sign your name and we'll get it going. And then eventually 2 weeks later it was our first meeting, and it was 92 people in one room, all squeezed into one room, just learning about relay and electing officers, and then from then it's been, the students are also involved in other clubs, and they can go and branch out in their own clubs and recruit people from their other clubs they're involved in as well, and not just within this Relay for Life club we have created.
Wow. Yeah. And how many teams do you think will be coming from Basha this year?
So I know at Basha we have an estimated 40 clubs, 40 to 45 clubs, and I have a very diverse group of students in my Relay for Life club, and so I'm estimating at least, I'm going to say 20 to 25 groups will be showing up.
That's great. And obviously Basha will have a substantial presence there, being on home turf, but I imagine we might have some other schools. Yeah. Who do you recall being there in the past from other schools?
Last year I saw a lot of Perry groups, and we ended up we had our Basha group next to us, and then right next door we had Perry, and I know that was, since we're rival schools, and I know one my group, and then I'm part of Basha Avid as well, and the other Perry Avid group, I remember we were all running around the track all night trying to just beat each other. And, yeah.
So you can expect to see bears, pumas, maybe some huskies and wolves out on the field. Yeah. Well, that will be a lot of fun. Lynn, how many participated in last year's event?
We figure about 800 to 1,000. We're not sure because people not only can sign up as a team and as individuals, where we have them registered and counted, but let's say the day of the event, someone from the community wants to come, even though they're not registered, they are still welcome to come and walk a few laps. And I always encourage everyone, bring cash. We don't have an ATM out there, and there'll be people selling some stuff that you can still be involved in the fight against cancer.
And what kind of stuff have you seen that has been very popular as people have been out there? Obviously, amazing food trucks.
Yep.
But what else have you seen?
Some people do memorabilia, like whether it's something with the different colored ribbons that you can purchase or buttons. Baked goods are very popular. Some people I've seen people bring in ice cream and things like that to help during the hot hours of the event. And all that goes towards raising money that evening.
And tell us about the lap bead. That's always a fun and unusual one.
Well, and I think Ethan mentioned it, how they were having this little competition between Perry and Basha last year, is that you can sign up to do the 50 or the 100 lap event. And then with each lap, you collect a bead and have this long chain by the end. And some people do actually 106 laps because that is a full marathon, the night of relay. And we have people that do it every year.
I'll commit to at least 50. We'll see where we go from there.
So that's a lot of laps.
So Ethan, what is your favorite part of relay?
Like I mentioned before, I think my favorite part is probably the Luminaria walk, like where it's just all silent and all the candles are lit around the field, and we walk and we kind of like reminisce and just like internalize everything, and it's like peaceful, and it's nice.
Have you met some inspirational people in previous or last year, or people that have kind of made you think a little differently about cancer or life?
Last year, being also, like I said, a part of AVID as well, I had Angela Olguin, who is also part of Relay for Life, come to my school and talk to the Basha AVID students, just kind of encourage them to get involved this year, or from last year. And she started the whole presentation with her like story, how cancer affected her. And I think that actually was like, people at the end were just like, wow, I really want to get involved now and just kind of like, fight for who I'm fighting for. And that was probably the most influential person thus far.
Wow.
Yeah.
She is an amazing lady.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible.
I've been amazed and astounded by several people that have been out there. One of them is Alan Zabin, that we recently recognized as one of Chandler's top volunteers. And our fire department has a person in full gear and with the breathing apparatus and the heavy outfit that they walk all night long. It's been pretty amazing to me.
Yeah.
So Lynn, cancer obviously has touched you on several levels, and as a result of that, you manage a blog website and you have a book coming out, of which I understand that just came today.
Came about 2 hours ago in the mail, my first author copy. And so, yeah, it's entitled Under a Desert Sky, and it's my cancer story, along with the cancer story of both my parents. We all had cancer in the same season. But it's not just a story about cancer, but it's a story about hope and beauty and faith that can be found in those hard places. So my hard place happened to be cancer, but I think all of us have some kind of hard place that we've walked through. And so it's kind of a memoir. And interesting enough, we're going to be doing a book signing at Relay. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm going to be telling my mom's lipstick story from the microphone, and how she wouldn't go anywhere without her lipstick. And that became a symbol of her fighting cancer, because cancer takes many things, but she was not going to allow it to steal her beauty. And so that's one of the stories I'll be sharing the night of Relay.
Your mom was is a very beautiful lady.
Yeah.
So beyond the walk, beyond the raising funds and things that happen, there is also some services available that you're aware of with American Cancer Society for treatment and other things for caregivers. Tell us about that aspect.
Yeah, I mentioned a few of them, but I think the one I give out the most when someone calls me in that overwhelming, just trying to understand the diagnoses, and that is the website, cancer.org, or the 1-800 number, 1-800-227-2345. And what's so unusual about that 1-800 number is you can talk to a live person any day of the year, any hour of the day. So if you're freaking out at 2 a.m, wondering about something the doctor said, you can call and talk to a real person. And if you speak a language that's other than English or Spanish, or let's say you have a neighbor or a coworker that speaks another language, 15 languages are available at that website. If they can't get someone right away, they'll call you back. And the website also has some online courses people can take. Let's say you're dealing with fatigue from cancer and you don't know what to do about that. There's some information you can get on the website that you can study at your own leisure. And also available would be support groups in any community, in any town in the United States. They have that information. So that is the source I use the most. But there's also rides, patient services. We have a Hope Lodge up at Scottsdale for people that need to be close by for treatment but can't afford to stay in a hotel. So all those services are provided.
That is excellent. Now, obviously, one of the main goals of Relay is to help raise funds to eliminate cancer.
Yep.
How can people get involved in fundraising and volunteer opportunities with Relay and American Cancer Society through Relay?
We are always looking for people that want to get involved. And so if you're wanting to have a team this year, they could go to our website, relayforlife.org/ChandlerAZ, and sign up as a team and join us on the track the night of Relay and come see why it is the biggest volunteer-driven organization in the world. We're also looking for sponsorships, and that would be available. You could find that on the website as well. Every dollar matters. Every dollar counts. So
very good.
Get involved.
Well, Ethan, tell me something you're looking forward to this year at Relay for Life.
This year, I'm mostly looking forward to seeing all the Basha groups this year at least showing up, because I feel like I'm really trying my best to recruit people and fundraise. And we actually just finished one of our fundraisers. We did, Lynn helped us fundraise feet, and we just sold a ton of those and stuff like that. And I also was been encouraging to people, we have this, it's a calendar that spells out hope, and each spot is fundraising related, and that's a way I've, something I'm looking for.
So I'm curious with the feet, did you have it go somewhere?
We did. We had we did classrooms, and we had students and teachers put them on the walls, and each they would sign their name, and
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to close with a short video, and but is there anything else that either of you would like to say?
I just think a lot of times people feel paralyzed by the huge word cancer. And I just want to say a small gesture, a small step makes a difference. And so that if you have someone who's been diagnosed, don't be afraid to make that phone call, to give that ride, to provide a meal. Small things make a big difference.
It's a good word. Anything from you, Ethan?
I say just come join Relay this year.
Great.
It's going to be a great time.
Well, fantastic. I want to thank you both for joining us in Chandler in Focus, and I want to invite all of our viewers to come and be part of Relay for Life Chandler at Basha High School. And this will be happening on Friday, May 12th at 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. on May 13th. It's a special event that touches everyone who comes. Maybe you can't spend the night, so I would encourage you to at least be there the first 3 or 4 hours. You will be touched. Say hi to us if you do come. Once again, I'm Vice Mayor Kevin Harke, and this is Chandler in Focus. Join us in watching this video.